The worker lifted the first gun Ak47, aimed at a metal barrel 50 meters away. A bullet flew out from the AK's muzzle, piercing the barrel on the other side. Then the worker switched to full auto mode, hitting the target repeatedly, splashing water everywhere. Eventually, the barrel looked like a beehive. His buddies rushed over, knocking it over to check for bullets. At that moment, Aka was so nervous he could barely breathe, his right hand gripping the gun he designed. When his friends found the bullets, they told Aka the pressure was perfectly balanced. Aka's heart finally settled. Excited, he headed to the armory, where he ran into a guard. Aka pulled out his homemade gun, asking to see the commander. The soldier stared at the unfamiliar weapon, immediately confiscating it and locking Aka up. Bringing a gun into the armory was a serious offense. Just then, a major returned from the front lines. The soldier quickly handed the gun over to him. The major saw how unique it was, rushed to the shooting range with it. After firing a few rounds, he was amazed by how accurate the gun was. The major let Aka out, calling in a general to try it out too. The general loaded the weapon, aimed at the distant target. Before long, he emptied a magazine, and the bullet holes were perfectly spaced. The general was shocked. Thinking Aka was a genius, he handed Aka a recommendation letter, inviting him to represent the district in the national weapons competition. Later, Aka arrived in Moscow, where the research institute gave him an office. They even assigned him a female assistant, and Aka fell for her at first sight. Soon, it was competition time, but since Aka lacked experience, he only made simple upgrades to his gun, so his entry didn't make the cut. Feeling guilty, he went back to see the general, thinking he'd get a scolding, but to his surprise, the general encouraged him, telling him to come back and compete next year.